Back at it on a Tuesday, 25th day of June, 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful morning. It was a beautiful day yesterday. It was like perfect. A couple of high clouds, nice light breeze. We topped off at 80. We spent the evening at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium for Apple Sox baseball. Spoiler alert, they won. But it was just a beautiful day at the ballpark. Very pleasant early summer's evening. We're in for another one today. A little bit hotter, We hit 80 yesterday. We'll be closer to 90 today. Then a big change is coming, significant change. Well, there's a cold front coming in. It's going to come in on Wednesday. It's going to give us two things, a possibility of a couple of things. One we want, one we don't want. One is rain. We need the rain. You know that by now. We're in a big time drought. The thing we don't want is lightning. For obvious reasons, you're rather forecast, if is a word, we're going to have it. I mean, we have a beautiful day today. Wednesday is when things are going to change. Weekend's looking pretty good. A lot of news to get to. Usually this is starting to get to kind of the quiet time in the newsroom. That's not the case. We got a lot of news to touch on. As I mentioned already, the Apple Sox won, but the Mariners did not. They are now 2-5 on their road trip. They're struggling on the road. We'll have highlights of both the Apple Sox and the Mariners. In the back half of the program, we love our friends at The Bunker, also known as Vets Serving Vets. Mark Harley and Jose Solis will be joining me. And then after that, Bruce Blevins from Glad Song Community Choir, because they're getting together again. Glad Song does these charity concerts. They don't charge anybody anything. And then you get to go for just a donation, all of it to help out our friends at Vets Serving Vets. You'll hear from Mark. You'll hear from Jose. You're going to hear from Bruce. The concert, by the way, is this Sunday. So make plans for Sunday in the early evening hours to check out the Glad Song Community Choir. You're going to like what you hear. And all the usual shenanigans apply. It's 2 minutes after the hour. It is 58 degrees. Our tour begins, courtesy of Local Tel's PTZ Sky-Fi cameras. All of these are on Sky-Fi towers, with just a couple of exceptions for the most part. When you see these cameras, you know they're attached to a tower. That's all part of Local Tel's Sky-Fi system, which lets you get screaming fast internet without having fiber run to your home. A lot of people who live in the remote areas could have cabins, or they travel and they can just hook up the dish and away they go. Good morning to the valley. The Columbia River, again, still running high, and it will be for quite some time. But a beautiful morning. Long day still, 15 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. If you like daylight, this is your time of the year. The only problem with the sun going down after 9 o'clock in the evening is I have to go to bed while the sun is still up, but that's part and parcel of having to do morning television. This is a really cool view from Green's Knob. We're going to go up to Lake Chelan and take a look-see there on your way up to Stehekin. And the Holden Village doesn't look like the Pioneer Fire is doing much of anything. It's burning, again, very remote terrain, basically out in the middle of nowhere. It's also burning in a fire scar from a fire of about 20 years ago, and that helps. Really not that much fuel. I don't see any smoke at all from the Pioneer Fire. That's from our Green's Knob camera. And this is a different angle of Billy Goat. This is the Billy Goat camera. We use it quite a bit. That's the Columbia River that you see down there. So if we had panned this off to the left is our usual view when we see Pateros in Brewster in the Methow River. So we have that pointed down river a little bit off into the plateau high above the Bridgeport area. You can almost make out the Gamble Sands golf course. So that's our Billy Goat camera, but just a slightly different angle. I mean, we can move the cameras, so why not? And here's a camera we haven't used in a long time. Up to two rivers we go, where the White River and the Little Wenatchee empty into Lake Wenatchee and, quite frankly, forms Lake Wenatchee. And then, of course, Lake Wenatchee ends up being the Wenatchee River, which goes into the Columbia River, which flows into the Pacific Ocean, which, to my knowledge, doesn't flow anywhere. Nice and placid and smooth and quiet on a beautiful area that I love to visit, Lake Wenatchee. It is gorgeous up there. The outlook for the rest of the week looks something, well, like this. Things are going to change a little bit. Today, not that much. It's going to be very warm. At least everybody's going to at least be in the mid-80s. Some folks will get up into the low 90s. We're off to a fairly mild start. Yesterday at this time it was 54. Today it's 58. So we're going to climb that ladder to the lower 90s anyway for the Wenatchee Valley. Then things change. We're going to start seeing some clouds. As a cold front arrives throughout the course of the day on Wednesday, wind's going to pick up, a bit unsettled, and then the cycle repeats itself. That's going to happen Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, we start warming up again. We start seeing more sunshine. We'll be back up to the 80s anyway by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. So we're kind of going to be all over the map as far as Mother Nature is concerned. From the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. Sunshine and a lot of it. Very nice light breeze. Just a beautiful day. High of about 92. Just enough to make you sweat a little bit without really getting into the heat. 64 for the overnight low. And then here comes this cold front. Going to cool us down. We're going to see sunshine for the most part, but things are going to be unsettled. The wind will be picking up. We'll could even see a thunderstorm late in the day on Wednesday as this cold front comes in. The pressure gradients are going to tighten up. And keep your fingers crossed. Rain we could use, lightning we don't want. And that chance of a thunderstorm or a light raindrop or two continues into Wednesday night. We bottom out on Thursday. Lots of sunshine, but still very windy, very low relative humidity. I would not be surprised at all if we get a red flag warning or at least some kind of concern from the fire people on Thursday with a high of only 75. Then whoop, back up we go to 82 Friday and 85 on Saturday with a few clouds on Saturday as well. We're running out of June, as a matter of fact. June's about done. Monday is July 1st. Holy cow. That's your weather forecast. It's 6 minutes after the hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back with the news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Come on, I'm a certified technician. I was trained to take good care of you.
9. I've only been to the dealer.
I've been coming here for years. These guys are great.
Look around. The BMW, the Jag, the Volvo, they're all waiting for regular service. Well, the BMW has a little computer issue, but that's nothing we can't handle. Come on in.
From regular maintenance to computer troubleshooting, trust the Global Car Care technicians with your import, diesel-powered, or domestic vehicle. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language.
Dankeschön.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can just lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Have you noticed how expensive it is this summer to feed a family at most restaurants? Even a burger basket for 6 people can run you $60. But at Abby's, you can still feed a family of 4 to 6 for less than $26. Real value. That's one more reason we're legendary. We know what Abby's customers like on their pizza. Meat. Lots of meat. That's why this month, we're piling on the classic pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and beef. Abby's Triple Topper has the meat you love, and right now, it's on sale. Order your Triple Topper at abbys.com.
During the break, we went from 59 to 60 degrees, lower 90s today. We cooled down a little bit Wednesday with some unsettled weather. Could see a thunderstorm. It's a possibility anyway. On Wednesday, Thursday, pretty breezy and pretty cool. And then we warm right back up again to where we should be by the time we get to the weekend. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A residential fire early Monday morning has left a Chelan resident dead. Chelan Fire and Rescue says a fifth-wheel trailer on Ariel Lane between Chelan and Manson was already engulfed in flames when they got there. This is a little after 1 o'clock on Monday morning. The fire had spread to 2 sheds and 2 nearby vehicles, and it already started a quarter-acre brush fire, and that forced firefighters to defend other RVs parked nearby. When the main fire was extinguished, rescuers found 1 person deceased, along with several pets. One other person suffered burns, is being treated at Harborview Medical Center. Chelan County Coroner Wayne Harris says he's working to contact the victim's next of kin, and the sheriff's office says there's no immediate signs of foul play. The cause of the fire is unknown. It's being investigated by the Chelan County Fire Marshal. 3 Chelan County jail inmates, including a murder suspect, is now accused of attacking and injuring a 4th man who was housed at the jail. 18-year-old Hario Enciso is being held on charges of murdering an East Wenatchee teenager last year. Jail authorities say that on Sunday, Enciso and fellow inmates Zachary Craig and Michael Lee Royster attacked a 30-year-old inmate in a common cell they all shared. The men allegedly punched and kicked the victim multiple times, and Craig is accused of strangling the victim to the point of unconsciousness, but the victim refused to be taken to the hospital. Enciso is the subject in the 2023 shooting death of 15-year-old Tony Figueroa. Craig is awaiting trial for allegedly stabbing a man last year in Pennsylvania Park, and Royster is charged in a separate stabbing. Police are seeking new charges of second-degree assault against all three men. A truck hit the traffic light pole at the southeast corner of the intersection of North Mission Street and 9th Street on Sunday. That's near the Berry Auto dealership. As a result of the accident, the city of Wenatchee has closed the eastbound portion of 9th Street between Chelan and Mission until further notice. Motorists should avoid the area, and you want to detour through 5th Street. Wenatchee Public Works is going to continue to assess the situation and put up a new light pole, hopefully pretty soon. The Moses Lake School District has a vacancy on its board after a member resigned last week. Kevin Fuhrer, whose term ends in 2025, announced his resignation last Friday. He says he's going to focus on his health. Fuhrer will also retire as a Moses Lake City Manager. It's a position he's had since 2016. A report from the Columbia Basin Herald says he previously fought battles with cancer and underwent surgery to address liver cancer last year. The vacant school board position will be filled by appointment within the next 90 days, and the board will then conduct interviews from applicants during open public meetings. The Grant County Health District is warning of suspected blue-green algae blooms in Moses Lake. This happens pretty much every year. Blue-green algae is pretty common in Moses Lake in the summertime. It, of course, produces natural toxins that are not good for you. Moses Lake is divided into 6 sections where they monitor the quality of the water, and the report of the suspected blue-green algae is in the middle Moses Lake area. That's near Blue Heron Park. The health district said toxic samples will be collected this week. Results will be posted on their website once they get them. Of course, the health district advises caution around the lake and don't go in the water. Flight fans flocked to Pangbourne Memorial Airport on Saturday for the Festival of Flight, a celebration of the Pangbourne-Herndon Trans-Pacific landing and all the aviation history that surrounds it. Visitors had a chance to tour both vintage and contemporary aircraft on the tarmac. They showed the movie Top Gun Maverick right there on the apron, and they even, if you wanted to, you could go up on a flight around the valley via a helicopter. The 56th Army Jazz Band provided the musical accompaniment. Pangbourne Memorial Airport was a busy place on Saturday. The Army National Guard of Washington now has a home base at Pangbourne Memorial Airport. Officials from the Guard and the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority cut the ribbon Saturday on the Wenatchee Army Aviation Support Facility. It's going to be relocated there. They relocated the whole thing from Fairchild Air Force Base near Spokane. Brigadier General Paul Sellers commands all National Guard operations in our state, and he helped inaugurate the new facility. He explained the choice to move aviation support to our area.
Well, if you look at Wenatchee on a map, it is right in the middle of the state. And where most of our domestic operations are, like for wildland firefighting specifically, it's up and down the Cascades. So with our previous location out at Fairchild Air Force Base, the distances that the Blackhawks and the LUHs can fly on a single set of fuel isn't that great from Fairchild, but from Wenatchee, We're able to move anywhere up north and south, as well as anywhere in the central corridor, to respond quickly, as well as have a lasting impact. We don't have to go. You don't have to bring as many assets forward because we have assets here when it comes to like refueling or basing operations out of here versus doing it all the way at Fairchild or at JBLM, where you'd have to cross over the mountains to get here. We have Charlie 112th, which is the LUH 72s that you can see right behind me here, and then the UH 60s are part of the Charlie Company 168th Battalion. So we have Chinooks, or excuse me, Blackhawks and LUHs. The LUHs are a light utility helicopter, so they do a lot of VIP, and they do scanning, like reconnaissance type missions. They most recently did support to the federal government down at the southwest border, where they got, there's a ball usually at the bottom of the helicopter that has lots of optics, so they can do day and night flying and scan terrain and things like that. And the Blackhawks are a utility helicopter we can do lots of things with. This detachment is part of a medical detachment, so going in and doing medical evacuations for personnel. But also the dual use that they have is that both of these helicopters can be useful like in a wildland firefighting type operation. The Blackhawks, you can attach a bucket underneath so they can drop water on fires, and then the LUHs can really be seen in a capacity where, like, if VIPs come in, like the governor wants to come in and survey the fires, he can jump in one of those and we can spin around the fires and he can observe from that angle while the Blackhawks are dropping water on fires. So we lease this building, and this will be fairly long term while we also try to build a permanent facility on the other side of the airfield. That process takes more than a decade. So we're really just starting that piece. You have to have the land, and then the infrastructure and all that stuff has to be built up. And it takes a long time on the federal side for things like that to happen. But our big dream would be to have a permanent readiness center here that we can both base our aviation assets out of, as well as maybe build some ground operations here as well with other units that we have in the state. Obviously with a smaller helicopter like an LUH, you can maybe identify where a lost hiker or somebody that's injured might be, but you don't have the capability necessarily to extract them. But what you can do with a smaller helicopter is bring like a couple infantrymen or the medical personnel to offload them so they can go and stabilize a patient, while the Blackhawk actually has the capabilities to drop a cable down and extract somebody up. So really both helicopters can kind of work in tandem with that, as well as with our ground forces to be able to assist in those ways.
And now you know what the heck is going on around here on this Tuesday morning. And if you want to continue to fill your brain with local information, we have a program that's designed to do just that. It's the NCW Life Evening News at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. 5, 6, and 10 if you consume your news on the World Wide Web, and who's kidding you, a lot of people do. Our news will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and our Facebook page, our YouTube page. We got X, we got Instagram, we have an app, it's right there. So check it out, just download the app with your smartphone, and if something out there warrants our attention, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. News at ncwlife.com. Good night for the Apple Sox, not so much for the Mariners. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Sangster Motors has the hottest lineup of GMC vehicles in years. From the top-selling Sierra pickups to the all-new Canyon midsize, Sangster has you covered. Add the luxury of a new Yukon or the outrageous new Hummer Electric, and you have it all right here at Sangster Motors.
Get 2.9% APR for 72 months on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. Or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
20 minutes after the hour, the Seattle Mariners blew a 3-1 lead after Yandy Diaz had a 2-run base hit in Tampa Bay. Knocks off the Mariners. They rallied to beat them 4-3 last night. Seattle is just 2-5 in their last 2-5 on their current 9-game road trip. Seattle, in fact, is the only division leader that has a losing record on the road.
Trailing Gunnar Henderson on the on-base streak. Of course, Brian Reynolds, who we just saw in Pittsburgh, on the hit streak.
And he's on again. He chopped that one to the left of France and into right for a base hit. Nice job there, just chopping that one through.
He's off to a really good start. Here's a high drive, deep right center field. Cal lead all over it. Goodbye. 1-0 Mariners. Big Cal with his 13th home run. RBI number 46. Home run leader for the ball club. And listen to Mariner fans in this ballpark.
Well, this is what I've been talking about. Just don't miss the fastball, and he certainly didn't. He gets this heater and crushes it right in the middle of the plate. 110 on the exit velo.
Welcome sight. A 1-1 game, top 7. Canzone at first. He goes. And a high drive left field. Mitch Garver's just giving the Mariners a 3-1 lead. A rocket 2-run shot. Wow. Boy, did he need that. Mitch Garver, home run number 9, RBIs 29 and 30, and a 3-1 Seattle lead. That's beautiful. 2 home runs tonight by the Mariners. Cal, and now Mitch Garver.
Perfect timing on it, too. It
was.
And he goes up the left side toward the corner. That's a fair ball. And will bound out of play. It's a double. The Rays score Walls. That's going to make it a 1-run game. Siri stops at third as that ball bounded over that low wall on the double by Rortvedt. And just like that, it's a 3-2 ball game, and the Rays get their extra base hit. And a chopper to the right side. Yes! The run will score. Here comes another man. Safe at the plate of the Rays. Take the lead 4-3. Yandy Diaz chopped it through the right side. Siri scored, followed by DeLuca, and the Rays lead 4-3. Yandy Diaz comes through.
Another chopper that he made it very difficult down there at first base to be able to handle.
And the Rays now lead 4-3 with a 3-run 8th.
You got a pitch or two to play with here. If I'm Pete, you know, take that 98, 99 right up at the letters.
The 1-2. And he got it. He did. 99 strikes him out, and the Rays are winners. 2 strikeouts in the 9th for Fairbanks, and a big comeback victory for the Rays tonight.
Mariners and Rays play again tonight. Louis Castile will throw for Seattle. The Rays will go with Zach Littell. First pitch on Root Sports at 3:50. Kay Benavidez is pretty good. He had a good night last night. Drove in 5 runs, including a big home run. The Salt away the game in the 8th inning. Apple Sox defeat Kelowna. The final last night was 11-3 at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Wenatchee raced out to a 7-0 lead. And then they scored, and then they scored, and then they scored some more. Eric Granstrom and our good buddy L.A. Kenny J had the call.
1-0 counts, and a pitch by Kimball. Inside and hit him, and that's going to bring in the first Wenatchee run of the night. The Sox lead at 1-0. The 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on and hit on a hop past the shortstop into left center field. 1 run's going to score. They're going to try to score 2 and move a runner to third, and everybody's going to be safe on the 2-run double by Antonio Gianni. Runners at second and third. Pitch on the way, swung on and chopped slowly towards the shortstop. In on the ball is the man. He'll throw it to first in time, but a run's going to score. Out, Aiden Doherty stepping up with the bases jammed. Second time here tonight. Wenatchee's had the bases loaded. This pitch swung on a fly ball to deep center. Backing up on it is Salazar. That's going to allow the runner from third to tag and come home, and the Apple Sox lead at 5-0. This pitch swung on and lifted into the air to left center, and a long run, and making the play out there is the center fielder Salazar. That will allow a run to score. Apple Sox up 6-0 as Roberto Gonzalez will score on the sacrifice fly. And these guys kept looking up and asking me to score in between each inning. But here we'll score a run and down to first and out on the play. But how about Roberto Gonzalez with the sacrifice bunt? Not a squeeze per se.
And that makes it 7-0.
appreciate that. Money's in the mail. Ooh, pitch hits off the glove of Hoyland, goes to the shortstop. He'll throw to first base in time for the out.
Yes.
Pelayo basically backing up Hoyland, who was just basically trying to defend himself on the play. Not going to sign you up on that.
No.
This pitch swung on and backing up as Pelayo. It almost ate him up, but he swallows it up and throws to first in time. How about the couple of plays in a row here by Elijah Pelayo out there at shortstop?
I still have the tape of that.
The 1-1 pitch swung on and hit on the ground. How about Pelayo making all 3 outs here? Yes, he does. That was an impressive defensive inning for Mr. Pelayo. And the delivery swung on and grounded through the left side for a base hit. That's going to score 1 for sure. They're going to hold the second runner at third base. He's out there running. This pitch swung on and a well-hit ball to deep center field. Back goes Hartman. He'll make the catch against the wall. How about that for Max Hartman? Oh, my. In your lap, Dan Koontz. Nice play by Max Hartman. There's Luz, and Houston's just been on a roll lately. This pitch swung on a grounded to the right side, and it goes over the second baseman's glove into right field. That's going to score a run, and it's now 8-2. Rangers tonight, so that's good news for the Mariners, as Texas was also gaining ground. This pitch swung on a hit in the air to center field. Another base hit, another run's going to score. 8-3 now. First pitch to him here, swung on a fly ball deep to right field, and that is going to be gone. A home run, 3-run shot for Cade Benavidez, his second home run of the summer. 3-run home run as that wind has come up a little bit here late in the game. And Benavidez rides that jet stream over the right field wall for his second home run of the summer. Trey back in the right-handed batter's box, and the 3-2 pitch on the way is strike 3 called. Gone looking is Duffield. The Apple Sox pitching staff with 10 strikeouts in the game, and Wenatchee wins this one by a final of 11-3.
It was a beautiful night at the ballpark. We'll see if that happens again as the Apple Sox will try to extend their half-game lead. They'll do battle with the Falcons again tonight. First pitch at 6:35. In fact, as we look at the scoreboard, it was the only game that they played in the West Coast League last night, Wenatchee and Kelowna. That was it. So let's go ahead and zip to the standings. Again, it was the only game that was being played last night. Wenatchee will end up playing a long stretch of baseball before they finally get Thursday off. There's your standings. Apple Sox have a half-game lead over Edmonton, a game-and-a-half lead over Bellingham, 3.5 over Victoria. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 28 minutes. After the hour. The Obscura holiday of the day today is that National Catfish Day. That's one ugly fish. I think we're doing catfish a favor by eating them. I'm not a big fan of catfish. Catfish do not have scales. They have skin. Maybe that's why I don't much care for them. Even though catfish have 100,000 taste buds, and we only have 7,000, they swallow their food whole. I mean, what's the point there? Wild catfish feed from the bottom, but of course farm-raised catfish, which is where all of the catfish pretty much comes from, they feed on pellets that float on the water. And of course, there are huge catfish farms all over Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Farmed catfish, of course, because they're farmed, they're available all year long. There's not a catfish season. And catfish in the wild can grow huge. They can grow up to 700 pounds, and they can live more than 100 years. I know people who weigh 700 pounds, but they're not going to live 100 years. Happy National Catfish Day. Not a big fan of the catfish. I'll take salmon, or better yet, halibut, any day of the week. But there's your Obscura holidays, 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, it's time to play Guess That Flag. Well, there you go. Virginia became the 10th state to ratify the United States Constitution, joined the Union on this date in 1788. That makes Virginia 236 years old today. Of course, it is a Commonwealth. Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Kentucky, and Virginia refer to themselves as Commonwealths. Virginia used to be twice as large as it is now. Almost all of Kentucky and all of West Virginia used to be in Virginia. It's not anymore. Virginia's gotten smaller. In Virginia, the governor is prohibited from serving consecutive terms. And it's happened many times in Virginia history. They have a popular governor who can't run for re-election. He has to sit out for 4 years, and then he runs and wins again. Happens all the time. Virginia is known as the Silicon Valley of the East because half of the world's internet traffic goes through data centers in Loudoun County. That's a lot of internet. 8 U.S. presidents born in Virginia, but none since Woodrow Wilson, so it's been about 125 years. About 1/4 of Virginia's workforce is employed by the federal government. With a population of over 8.5 million, Virginia is the largest state that does not have a major professional sports franchise. And of the 4,000 battles in the Civil War, over half of them were fought in Virginia, about 2,200. Happy birthday to Virginia. Speaking of wars, this is the anniversary of the Korean War. The North Koreans invade South Korea 74 years ago today, and a small little peninsula in Southeast Asia all of a sudden becomes known to everybody. Of course, both countries are still technically at war. They didn't sign a peace treaty, they signed an armistice in the summer of 1953, so technically North Korea and South Korea are still at war. The Korean War began 74 years ago today. And check this out, this had never happened in the history of the National League. Well, you can't see it, but I'll just tell you what happened. The Mets beat Philadelphia. The final was 5-1, not a single assist. New York pitchers get rid of the Phillies on 13 strikeouts, 12 flyouts, and 2 ground balls to the first baseman. Not one assist. It happened for the first time in National League history on the state in 1889. You have no idea how rare that is. And let's do some birthdays. You're so vain. Loving you is the right thing to do. That's the way I've always heard it should be. Anticipation. Carly Simon, the legendary Carly Simon, is 79 years old today. Carly, do another album. I'll buy it if you do it. Trust me on that. Carly Simon, 79. Also a great songwriter, too. Need to mention this. The 99th Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, Sonia Sotomayor, is 70 years old today. She's the one who stopped the baseball strike back in 1995. She said Major League Baseball cannot implement a new collective bargaining agreement and use replacement players, and that ended the baseball strike, so she'll always be a hero to me. She's 70 years old today. And Grant Olson celebrates a birthday. He knows how old he is today. He's so happy he ain't coming into work, which means I get to do the weather for the news tonight, but why not? Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, that would be Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Not too late to get your air conditioner checked. We're still not into the heat of summer yet. That's not till July. Make sure your AC can handle it. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. If you got a pool or you got a spa, you need the chemicals to keep the water nice and clean and fresh and usable. They got them at Pool to Spa Services, the good stuff too. And special thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike McNally's got an opinion. Turns out when you get arrested in real life, it's nothing like you see on TV. And we'll visit with our friends at The Bunker, Vets Serving Vets, Mark Harley and Jose Solis, and my good friend Bruce Blevins from the Glad Song Community Choir. Why? You'll find out when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Bayes and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAUSE to schedule your vaccination today.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Lake Chelan Sports is the place to find top brands like Hoka, Ons, Patagonia, and now a full line of Voré products. With excellent customer service, Lake Chelan Sports has what you need.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, when I was a cop in Wenatchee for 20 years, I have to admit, I'm a junkie for TV shows, was then, am now. TV shows and movies. I have seen every episode of Hill Street Blues, every episode of Law and Order, Blue Bloods, and NYPD Blue. Now, I've watched these things so often that my wife thinks I'm demented. And the one thing I've noticed about all these shows, the one common denominator is that it is incredibly easy to handcuff people on TV. I don't care what the bad guy is doing, fighting, running. As soon as they're tackled or thrown to the ground or pushed against a fence, their hands immediately go behind their back. And then the cuffs are applied effortlessly. It's like a miracle. Too bad it wasn't like that in real life. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carey bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Locatel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting locatel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone. Find custom floral designs for any occasion at Mountain Chick Floral. Even more wonderful plants and gifts abound in every corner in their new location at 7A South Wenatchee Avenue.
The Original Children's Shop offers sweet summertime outfits for your newborn to 8-year-old. Stop in for all the essentials you need to have a fun summer. Swimsuits, sandals, towels, sand toys, and more. Shop online or in our store.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here.
Program. We are outside the Washington National Guard Armory here on 5th Street, right next to Wenatchee Valley College. Your plans have been made for later on this month. Our friends at Glad Song Community Choir are doing what they do so well, which is donate their time and their talent to help out a great nonprofit organization. A couple weeks ago it was Mobile Meals. This time around, it's the Bunker. It's Mark Harley, our good friend, back again, and Jose, the guy who now runs the place.
Yes, sir. New boss.
Yeah, the new boss. How are you getting settled in, Jose? When we first talked to you a couple months ago, you were still trying to figure out what it is that I do around here. Have you figured out what it is that you do around here?
Everything.
Yeah?
I do.
Yeah?
I did. Yeah, I did. I mean, I've been part of the organization for, a quite long time. So, but I'm still the youngest buck in that crew, so they put me in as the president, and I'm taking it along.
And that was something that Mark and your organization was really stressing. You want to keep this thing going and not just peter out. And Mark, you told me we got to get younger blood in here to help the bunker out, and that's why you brought in Jose.
You know, we do, because in the last month we've had 2 people pass away, and that were part of the bunker and that we were helping and stuff. So we're running out of people. The median age is probably 75 years old. And then you and Steve got involved, and that dropped it down a little bit. But you know, it's tough to get younger people involved.
Why is that? There's not as many veterans, or the veterans that live here just don't want to be associated with that? I don't get it.
When I got out in '69, I wanted nothing to do with the service, and it took me till '80s. Where I finally went in a Veterans Day parade with my dad and Judge Lynch and a bunch of the old World War II vets. I walked in the back with those guys. So I finally started to realize that there was a need for me to do something. And it's finding out these guys too, you know, when they get out, I don't need anything military. I'm gonna go on with my life, private life and stuff. But eventually they get to where they need some camaraderie, and we provide that. If it's just coming down and drinking that free crappy coffee and sit and talk with guys, it makes them feel better. That's good. We've accomplished.
Well, if you were a veteran of, say, the Iraqi War in the early 90s, you're probably pushing 60 now, and you said it took you a good 15 years to do
they're going to have to get involved before it's too late.
Yeah. Is there Jose, I'll ask you this, is there a database you can say, hey, it's Jose from the bunker, we're a bunch of good guys, I see that you served our country honorably, not necessarily even in combat. Come join and see us. Is there a way you can bring in fresh bodies in that respect?
Not directly, but we can link up with the veteran service officers here in town or for the counties, and they can push or organizations' name out. But there's no way to reach out to veterans that are freshly out of the service, but. And that's something that Mark said, that a lot of newer veterans that are getting out of the service, they don't want to do anything with the veteran community. But
especially in their early years, right after they've been discharged. For one thing, they're a civilian again, and they want to be a civilian, right?
Yeah, and they have families that they have new jobs that they gotta make happen. So there's reasons for veterans not to be involved, but the need is there. The need is there because we've seen a lot of people come through our organization, and they are in need, but we need volunteers to help that need in this community.
And anybody can volunteer. You don't have to be a veteran. You just have to be a warm body and give a damn, right? And that's about the only 2 prerequisites?
Yeah, you don't have to be a veteran to come in and get started on something. I think a lot of what we find out is the younger guys, until they need something and they swallow their pride and say, okay, I need this, I need somebody to talk to, I'm having some problems, and then we can start getting them in the door. But until that, we've got flyers up at Legion, VFW, the CBOC, the clinic out here. We've got notifications everywhere, but I've had people come in that were in their 70s and 80s and they'd never heard of us, and it's been here all their life.
Wow.
But they happened to go across the parking lot to get a pizza and looked up and saw our sign, Vet Serving Vets. So they said, oh, what is this? I'll come over and take a look. That's how we get a lot of people.
Well, hopefully we'll get a lot of people in this very building. The date again, please, Mark, be specific.
30th of this month, right?
30th of this month, Song Community Choir. Bruce Blevins will be joining us here in just a couple of minutes to talk about their program and what they're going to do. You're going to have some cool stuff you're going to give away. All you got to do is show up.
We had a gentleman build us a wood flag, and it's distressed, and it looks like it's moving. And he donated that all and did a beautiful job. I'll send you a picture later. And Save Mart gave us something, we don't know what it is, and it'll be on the auction block. Pybus Market, I've got a bag of stuff that was given through the Pybus Market, different gift cards and stuff. So, and other people are still rounding up stuff. So it's our major fundraiser to get some money back into the deal, because we have a scholarship fund. We have people all the time. Lady come in here last week, needed $500 for her rent. So there's always a need, but the donations have kind of slowed down. So we have to have a fundraiser to think of how to get people involved. And that's what we came up with, and Bruce offered their services, so I'm tickled pink.
It'll be a lot of fun, and it's a good show too. They put on a great show.
Never
Is there going to be any formal program, Jose? Are you going to say a few words to talk about vets serving vets and the bunker down there at the Hardy Center? You going to say a few words before the show begins?
Yeah, there's going to be a little introduction before the concert, and how the program will look like, and then they're going to take on the show and perform.
And it's strictly by donation. Just put your dough in the hat.
Yeah.
If you bring your checkbook, make the check out to Vets Serving Vets. Don't make it out to Mark personally.
No.
For one thing, you'll probably misspell his last name. How do we help you get people involved in Vets Serving Vets and the bunker, just in a general sense? First of all, if you're a veteran out there and you've served our country, they're there for you. What can we do to help?
Well, we're at our building, Monday through Saturday, 8 to noon or 1 p.m. There's our phone number there. Call us. I'm actually the one that organizes the stand down for the community as well. So I need volunteers for that too.
When is the stand down?
September 21st.
And that will be right here?
That'll be.
And that's when your friends from the arms, they'd have the surplus clothing and all that stuff, dental care, that kind of stuff. That's a huge event.
That is a huge event.
We usually have a lady that comes in and gives haircuts, or a guy. We had one that did foot massages for a while, and you never know what we're going to have for people show up to help us.
That would be a good time for you to maybe get some new members for Vets Serving Vets.
And like I said, I'm stressing that enough because I'm the only, or me and Steve are the younger, vets there, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and we need to help. We need to help.
If you're a young veteran out there, these guys are cool. They're neat people. I love them a lot, and I'm glad that we can help them out any way we possibly can. Again, it is on the 30th. We're going to be talking to Bruce Blevins in just a little bit. One last question for you, Mark, then we'll cut you loose. I know you're a busy guy. Have we thought about maybe improving the quality of the coffee?
No. Then they'd stay and not leave.
Good point.
So we got to close the door at some time. They've had enough of that stuff.
Vets Serving Vets, affectionately known as the bunker in the Hardy Center, right across the Wenatchee Avenue from the Red Line. Bruce Blevins from the Glad Song Community Choir is going to join me when we come back.
Apple Sox fans, get ready for baseball. The Apple Sox are getting ready to host their longest homestand of the season with 6 games in as many days from June 21st to 26th. Don't miss out on special event days such as Bark in the Park Night on Sunday, $2 off Tuesday, and Wenatchee Wednesday. Tickets are available online now at applesox.com/schedule. Wenatchee Apple Sox Baseball, celebrating summer 1 inning at a time.
Welcome back to the program. Glad Song Community Choir, a bunch of good people who have 2 things in common. They can sing, and they love to donate their time to good causes such as Mobile Meals, Omi Gardens, and whoever else bothers to call up Glad Song Community Choir, and they have time to spend to put together a program. Bruce Blevins is no stranger to this program. I had your lovely wife Trish on board a couple weeks ago for your fundraiser for Mobile Meals. And now our friends at the bunker, Vets Serving Vets, will be the beneficiary on the 30th of this month.
That's correct.
Talk about that process. Hey, we love you guys. Can you come help us out? Because you've done this. How do you say yes? How do you say no?
Well, we've been doing this for. We kind of got together in 2021, and then 2022 we actually started the idea of, well, let's just do concerts for local charities because we want money to go into our local community. And so it just kind of morphed into that, and we've had quite a bit of success. Over $100,000 has been raised through these concerts for local charities. And some of our criteria is, we want the money to go straight to the people who need it. We don't want it to get absorbed into administrative costs and things like that. So we kind of shy away from large national type charities. Not that there's anything wrong with them.
But then you start talking about logistics and paperwork and all that crap that nobody wants to deal with.
And so we've kind of found a niche for ourselves, and we're having a ball doing it. Everybody, you know, in Glad Song is of a certain age, and we just enjoy. First of all, we enjoy singing and playing. I love playing guitar and singing, but we now have a new purpose to mesh the two together, and we're excited. And if you haven't been to our concerts, the one thing you're going to take away from it is we have a ball. We have a fun, and we love the charities that we are involved in. And when somebody contacts us, you know, we ask them a few questions about, okay, where does the money go into directly? You know, because that's important. That's one of our main criteria. And so once we get that sorted out, then we look at times and dates, because we don't, we kind of like to do a concert every couple weeks throughout the summer, because we take the winter off.
But it's a significant time. I mean, you guys have to rehearse, you have to pick your repertoire, you got to get together and decide how the program is going to be. It's not like you just show up and sing. It takes discipline and it takes rehearsal.
And fortunately, we have a really great website that's been developed by Hank Labine in Glad Song. And so we just pull up our website, we go to our parts, we learn them on our own, so that when we come together Sunday nights for rehearsals, you know, we've already done a lot of work on it. You know, I've already been playing guitar with it and singing the tenor parts. And so we really maximize that snippet of time on Sundays for rehearsals or concerts. We try to do the concerts the same time we rehearsal. So we're trying not to impact everybody's life throughout the whole week, you know. So people practice when they're at work, when they're on their walks in the mornings, you know, they listen to the parts and they learn it. And it's a very efficient way of learning a lot of music, because we have probably a 35-song repertoire, and we usually do 20 songs in a concert with an intermission. And so it's a lot, and we do everything from Steve Miller, Doobie Brothers, to a praise tune you might hear at church on Sunday. It just depends on the charity and the audience, but you're going to hear a real cross-section of American music, you know.
I've been meaning to ask you this, and I can't believe I haven't done it. Who came up with the name Glad Song? Because it's like perfect.
Tim.
Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Tim and Alice came up with the name, as far as I know. I didn't join right off the bat. They started in 2021, and my wife and I, we came in kind of at the end of 2021 when we was still trying to figure out, you know, what we wanted to do. At that time, we just wanted to get together and sing, because we just, you know, musicians love to play, even if we don't have to have an audience to enjoy music, you know. But it does make it really beneficial when we do have an audience, and that audience is raising money for a local charity.
And you feed off the audience, you know.
Oh, very much so.
I mean, that's the cool thing. And the cool thing about being in a choir, as opposed to, say, being a Kentucky, you can see the audience. You can start seeing them, and you'll see them start to sing.
Yeah.
And we've seen that happen before up at the big Homey Gardens concert. Yeah. I think we were close to the end, like 2 or 3 numbers to go, and everybody started singing the song.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but you know, a few people were missing some notes, but
who
the hell cares, you know, when they're having a good time. It's the spirit that counts.
Yeah, and that's one of our criteria for joining Glad Song, is you've got to be able to, you know, stay on a part, but you've got to be able to enjoy singing in front of people, you know, and
it takes it. You gotta be a bit of an extrovert, because you're going to be performing in front of people. But I've seen people who you can't get 3 words out of them, but boy, you put a song sheet in front of them and a music stand and a bunch of people, and they change 180.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
The 30th, right here at the Washington National Guard Armory on 5th Street. It's by donation only. What time does the show start?
The show starts at 5. Initially, we were talking about 6, but there was a little confusion. But now it is definitely at 5 o'clock Sunday evening. And if you really want to help the bunker and the vets program here, if you're coming to the concert, invite somebody. Bring somebody with you, because it's the more people we get, the more money we raise. You know, there's actually kind of an equation that fits. If we get this many people, we're probably going to raise this much money, minimally, you know. And so bring somebody to the concert. I guarantee you, you're probably going to be surprised, and it's going to be an enjoyable evening for you.
Last time I talked to you, I'll ask you one more question before we cut you. How you doing for membership? You need, I think it was a baritone that you needed, or maybe a couple of baritones to balance everything out.
Yeah.
How you doing for membership? What are you looking for?
We're doing pretty good. We could still use an alto or a baritone or a bass, but the sopranos and tenors are pretty full right now, so we're good there. You know.
Glad Song Community Choir to benefit vets serving vets in the bunker here on the last day of the month. And then where you got, what's going to be your next, what do you got for July?
July, we're doing a concert for the chaplains program, the first responders chaplains program that respond to critical incidences and you know, are there for counseling and pointing people in the direction to get help. I don't know the date because we try not to get too far ahead of it, but you know, it'll be coming up in July. And
well, say hi to your wife for me.
All right.
Yeah. And by the way, Bruce gave up his standing Tuesday morning tea time to be here. That's how cool Glad Song Community Choir is. And can people look at their? Do you guys have a website people can check out?
We do have a website, gladsong.org. It's good. And Mark Babst at Highlander, he donated a golf package, so that will be one of the things that's bid on if you come here. And so, you know, if you want to get something, there's an opportunity for you to bid on some prizes and have an excuse to spend a little more money.
And keep in mind, these guys aren't charging a dime, and all the stuff that they're going to do at the silent auction, all of it donated. So every last penny goes to the bunker and vets serving vets with Jose and Mark and his crew. No three putts? No three putts, right?
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully not tomorrow.
Good to see you, my friend.
All righty.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
We bumped up to 63 degrees here in the big city. We're almost leading the temperature parade. Quincy is at the warm spot right now at 67 degrees. Everybody's going to be right around that 90-degree mark, give or take a couple. So another very sunny and warm and dry day. Not a lot of wind. And then things are going to change on Wednesday as a dry cold front comes in. Things are going to get a little on the unsettled side. A little worried about that. In detail, lots of sunshine today, right around 90, maybe all the way up to 92, depending on where you call home. 64 for the overnight low. Things start changing on Wednesday as the cold front roars in. The wind will be picking up. Could see a late afternoon thunderstorm. There's about a 30% chance of a thunderstorm. It's going to be windy tomorrow. It's going to be cooler, high of 86. Of course, the thunderstorm is a kind of a catch-22. We could use the rain big time. We're in a drought, a significant drought. What we don't want is lightning that's usually associated with thunderstorms. So obviously, if we get a thunderstorm without any lightning, that's pretty much a win-win situation. High of 86, 58 for the overnight low. Still a chance of a thunderstorm even onto the evening hours on Wednesday. It's also going to be breezy Wednesday night and windy all day Thursday, and this is going to be the bottom of our temperature scale. We're only going to get to 75 on Thursday. Keep in mind our normal highs in the lower 80s. We rebound Thursday night. The wind will be dying down, 54 for the overnight low. Friday, right back to sunshine and a high of 82. Clouds perhaps will get the upper hand with a high of 85 on Saturday. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.